Hey, good morning, everybody. It's January 13th, and I'm doing what I'm calling a wellness corner. So it's an opportunity for us to share what is feeding us. So I'm going to start, and then I'm hoping that you share some of the things that are getting you interested and engaged this week. So let's start with what I'm reading with the caveat that if I can stay awake long enough, I absolutely love reading. It's just a challenge for me in the last, I don't know, 15 years to stay awake while I'm trying to read things. But anyway, I just finished this beautiful book, The Underworld by Susan Casey. My friend Paul lent it to me, and it is about all of the exploration of the deep sea. And I know that sounds like it might be a little technical and boring, and there's a couple of spots where it is, but the rest of it is magical. It's just shows you what you don't know about what's under the surface and just the majesty of God's creation. It really is a wonderful, beautiful book. It took me forever to finish it because, again, I kept falling asleep, but now I'm on a roll. So here's what I'm currently reading. It's called In Pieces. It's Sally Field's memoir. I heard Sally talking to Julia Louis Dreyfus on her podcast called Wiser Than Me, which I'm really enjoying. And I will say, you have to be careful about who you're picking to listen to, depending on your preferences. But I really enjoyed their discussion, and I'm enjoying Sally's memoir. Um, Another thing that I'm going to suggest listening to this week is a couple of Spotify curated playlists. The first is Teddy Swims Radio. I'm loving it. I can't get enough of it. And then the other is Otis Redding Radio, which I mean, you can't go wrong with Otis. So if you haven't had some Otis in your life lately, you really need to get back on that train. And then every day, I do try to start my day with listening to a daily reflection by Jeff Cavins on the Hallow app. So, if you're a person of faith and you need a little boost, or if you're trying to become more faithful in your life, I really think Jeff and his insights are super valuable for the most part. And here's a little tip for your week if you're feeling curious. I was helping plan our little getaway to DC here in a couple weeks, and I was on the National Archives website, which is obviously where our Constitution and the Declaration of Independence are stored, among other important documents. And there was this little link that I followed that said, "Can you read cursive?" And I thought, yeah, I mean, if you knew my late father and you knew my uncle and a couple other members of my family, you would understand I'm pretty good at reading challenging cursive. So I followed the link, and you can be a citizen archivist. So you click on a document after you sort of go through the hoops, and you can transcribe handwritten documents that will then go into the National Archives. So how cool is that? I'm definitely going to do it. One of There are a couple examples of things that you could transcribe. One was some communications about reindeer meat. So if that's sort of in your interest level, then there's that sitting there. There were some recently declassified um, papers about the Panama Canal, if that's interesting to you. And then I thought it was super cool about some uh, interviews of people related to German U-boat attacks. So anyway, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm sure there's really boring things and there's really interesting things, but if you sort of feel like scratching an itch of something creative, but you don't want to whip out your macrame set, then those are some ideas for you this week. So hopefully some of this is inspirational to you. And hopefully you'll like and comment on this video and tell me what you're up to. And let's just make a little habit of this, sharing about our lives and things that are interesting to us. And that way we'll build a little bit of community. So I hope you're all doing well. Um, Give me any of your thoughts, communications, inspirations, and I will catch up with you very soon. Have a great one.